Hey guys, it's Alyssa from AlyssaNalani.com. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be unboxing a full focus planner from Michael Hyatt & Company. Now, without getting into all of the boring details, I have recently switched over from one planning system to another, right in the middle of the fourth quarter of the year. Now, I don't necessarily recommend that. It's not the best time to start a new planner, but I have, and I'm glad I have, and this is just where we're at right now. I have been in the full focus for less than 2 weeks. I'm coming up on the end of the second week, so it hasn't been a long time. I'm just getting started. But you guys, I already love this planner so stinking much. It has just really checked off all of my boxes when it comes to what I need in a planner in a way that no other planner has been able to do quite so well for me. And you all know, if you've been following me here on the channel for some time, that I have used and loved a number of really great planners and planning systems over the past couple of years. And I've had a lot of fun just trying new things and experimenting with what I think I might like. And it's a really fun thing to do here in the planner community, obviously. And it's fun to watch other people do it as well. And I think that there are a lot of great planners on the market, and there's something for everybody, no matter what your preferences are and what you need out of a planner and how you like to engage on paper, and if you want more pretty over functional or whatever, all the different variables that go into choosing a planner, there's something for everybody. For me, the full focus has really just been a great fit for my season in life and what I want, what I want to carry and how I want to use it. And so I have decided that it is my planner for 2021. This is what I'm going to use next year. And not only that, I've decided to end my year 2020 with one as well. And so I thought about what I want to get done with these last several weeks of the year and how I want to approach it. And I just really want to be as intentional and as productive as I possibly can. 2020 has been a crazy year. I don't have to explain that to anybody, obviously. But I want to do the most that I can with it so that I'm satisfied. I'm as satisfied as I can be at the end of the year, but also so that I can position myself just with my best foot forward going into 2021. So this is what I'm using currently and what I plan to use in the forthcoming year. I'm going to leave it at that. That's the preamble. That's the introduction. Let's go ahead and crack this open, and I'm going to give you the full tour, as it were. So, full focus planner from Michael Hyatt & Company. I've been following Michael Hyatt's work for a good number of years now. I read his book, Platform, back when I was in college, which was a while ago. And I also read his book, Living Forward. And actually, if you watched my series last year, Build a Better Year 2020, I mentioned it briefly as far as kind of how I approach goal setting. And some of what I had taken from that book, I applied to how I had set up my goals. So that, along with power sheets, really gave me sort of a structure to use when setting goals. So Living Forward was a really great book when it comes to not actually just setting goals every year, but also how you approach your entire life as a whole, and how you make plans for the long term and how that should affect your short term, so on and so forth. So anyway, I recommend it. It was great. I respect his work and his expertise. And this is the planner that he has come up with his team, specifically with his daughter. They have created this. And I did notice it when it first came out a while ago, but I wasn't really paying attention to it until recently when I saw other people that I admire and whose work I follow. I saw them using it and I was like, oh, well, maybe I should pay attention to this a little closely, a little more closely, and check it out and see if it'd be a good fit for me. And it was, so this is where we're at. Okay, so here's what it looks like coming out of the box. Now you might be wondering, Alyssa, how come you're unboxing this? You're taking it out of the box, but you're also saying that you're currently using it. And that's the first thing you need to know about the full focus planner system. It is a quarterly system. So in order to complete a full year in the system, you have to have 4 planners, one for each quarter. It only covers 3 months. And I'll get into why I really appreciate that. You'll see that as we flip through it, but I really, really like that aspect of it. It does have this sleeve, as you can see, and on the sleeve, it does have a space where you can write the quarter and the year here. So I'm thinking, this is my guess, that you can use the sleeve later when you go to archive your planner. So maybe don't check it out right away when you get it. You might want to keep it for archival purposes. It does have 2 ribbon bookmarks, which is really nice. It does have a band to keep it closed, which is also really nice. This is the classic standard version, and it's in the navy color. There are a few lines you can choose from. Let's see if I can pull this up here in front of me. Sitting in front of my computer, I might as well. So there are a few lines to choose from. You have the classic standard, you have the executive, the bold, and the pocket. And within a couple of those lines, you can even choose one that is coil bound. Okay, so there are lots of options that you can choose from, several different colors you can choose from and looks. It's all the same planner inside, but you do have some options. They also have a student version as well, and I feel like they have another option. I just can't see it here in front of me. But anyway, bottom line, you've got some things to choose from. So this is the classic standard in navy, and we're gonna go ahead and open her up and see what it looks like. So blank here on the first, on the inside cover. You've got a nameplate where you can write down your name, email, phone, and the year that you're in, and then the quarter that you're in. So this is an undated planner, so you're going to fill in all your dates as they apply, which is really great. And that also means that you can kind of jump in whenever you want, which is essentially what I did. What is the word I'm looking for? The philosophy behind the Full Focus Planner is plan your year, design your days, achieve your biggest goals. Okay. Then on this inside page here, you have some get started information. They do have video coaching that you can go through. There's an online guidebook and there's a private Facebook community if you want to join it. And it just kind of walks you through how to set up your planner, how each of the sections are meant to be used, so on and so forth, so that you can get the most out of it. And I really like planning companies or planner companies that give you extra resources, so you're not just kind of left on your own with a planner, especially if it's like a specific system, right? It's not just a calendar. There are pieces to it that need to be used in a certain way. When they give you resources to help you out in that process, I think it's really great. One of the reasons why I really love Power Sheets, because they do the same thing. Okay, so now you have your contents page. There's the planning section, your execution section, and then your reference section. Okay, we're gonna go through each of these, but this gives you the page numbers and where to find everything, okay? So first up, we have our annual goals. So this is a goal setting system within just your regular, day-to-day planner, which I think is really great. Since I am using Power Sheets in 2021 and for the rest of my life, if they continue to make them, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to have these two systems cooperate. I will have them cooperate, but I'm not exactly sure right at this moment. And I'll figure that out and I'll share it with you once I know how that's going to work. So annual goals, you have 10 spots for 10 goals, right? And over here in the last column, you have space to write down which quarter do you want to accomplish these goals in, which I think is a really important factor in goal setting, to kind of space things out so you don't feel overwhelmed, and also so you don't run the risk of procrastinating and thinking, oh, well, I've got time and I'll do that later. You can really be intentional about when things can happen, especially if you have goals that might be that kind of are consecutive, like one has to happen before the other, and so that can kind of help you map that out as well. So I think that's a really great feature. And then for each of the 10 goals, you have 10 pages where you can write down the details of each of those goals. So this is kind of similar to sort of how Power Sheets works. I will be referencing Power Sheets just because it's my favorite goal planning tool, and it is something I'm going to be using along with my daily planner. But you have space to write down the summary of your goal, whether it is an achievement goal or a habit goal. The difference between these two is that an achievement goal at its very basic level is something that has a date assigned to it, right? So it has a due date, it has a deadline assigned to it. A habit goal is something that you're going to track over time, right? You can also write down the domain that it is, which domain in your life that it falls into. So spiritual, parental, intellectual, social, emotional, vocational, physical, avocational, marital, and financial. So which bucket does this goal fall into? Where does it belong? You can mark that. Your key motivations, your next steps, your rewards, and then if this is a habit goal, you have a streak tracker down here for each of the months in the quarter. So month 1, month 2, month 3, you can track your progress for any habit goals that you are setting. So you have 10 pages for that. Okay, and then we get into our monthly calendar. Okay, so because it is a quarter, you have 3 months to work with. They are blank, so you can write down the month and the dates that you're working with. And now here's one really cool thing. So if you've used several different planners, there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do with a month on 2-page spread. But what they did do is they used some of this space for something really, really cool. You might have heard my stomach growl, you guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm hungry. I need to eat. So my stomach might make more noises. I am so sorry about that, but we're going to keep going. So not a whole lot you can do with a month on 2-page spread, but they did make use of the space in a really great way. So you have your boxes for each of the days, but if you zoom in here a little bit, you can see that in each of the boxes, you have this little bar with 8 increments on it so that you can do some tracking within your month. So if that's your water intake, right, 8 glasses of water, anything else that you might need to track, it doesn't have to be 8 increments, it can be anything less than that, but anything that you might want to track, you have the space to do it here on your month on 2-page spread, which I think is a really great use of the space and a really great feature that they added. So month on 2-page, blank, write in your dates, you got your tracker there, and then you've got your side column here to record any major projects for the month, okay? All right, next we have rolling quarters. Now this is also a really great feature, especially for forward planning because you're only carrying 3 months at a time. So you have 4 of these pages. You're gonna write the quarter that it is and then the year that it is. You have your numbers down here on the far left column to signify what day of the month it is. And then you have this blank column to write down the date that it is. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then at the top, you can write down the month that it is, okay? So any just forward planning that you need to do, appointments, deadlines, just things that you need to record and have on hand would go in this space. You can't write everything down, obviously, because there's not enough space, but at least you can kind of get the meat and potatoes of whatever your planning needs are in these particular spaces. All right, next we have daily rituals. Now this is one of the bigger reasons why, my stomach is growling again. This is one of the bigger reasons why I chose the Full Focus Planner was because of the daily rituals. You might have heard me talk about, if you followed me here, the fact that I really struggle with rituals and routines. I don't know, it's just hard for me. So I really like the fact that they've built this into the system itself rather than something that you kind of have to add after the fact. So 4 rituals that Michael Hyatt says are really important to have as part of your day are your morning ritual, your workday startup ritual, your workday shutdown ritual, and your evening ritual, okay? So morning and evening, that's pretty basic. You want to make sure you're starting the day off on the right foot. You want to make sure you're ending your day off right so that you can get good rest, but also be ready for the next day. Now, workday startup and workday shutdown are, I don't know, they might be new concepts to you, maybe not, but really you're just getting yourself ready for your workday and kind of turning your brain on to this is what we're going to be doing for the next however many hours. So kind of turning your brain on, turning your body on to get ready for the workday, and then at the end, shutting down and transitioning your brain and your body to stop work. And this is really important, especially now, more people are working from home, but if you've always done that or you don't have like the physical commute or getting in your car or turning off the lights in your office or saying goodbye to coworkers or whatever, you don't have those sort of end of day signifiers or rituals. If you're at home, you have to kind of have a way to tell your brain, like, we're done with work and now we're going to get into rest or relaxation or recreation or whatever, spending time with your family and friends. So this is a really great way to kind of record what do I need to do at the beginning of the day to get started up mentally and physically, and what do I need to do at the end of the day to shut down mentally and physically so that I can transition to the rest of my day, okay? And also just the actual mechanics of it. So you write down the activities, what number, the activity, how much time it's going to take, and then you total the time at the end. All right. Next, we have the ideal week. Now, this is a really cool planning tool, and it has a couple of features that aren't necessarily written here on the page, and I'm going to do my best to explain it. So part of the philosophy of the planner is that this is a planner that you're using to balance both your work and personal life. So this is for busy professionals, right? And the idea is we have tasks and things that we need to do that relate to our work and don't relate to our work in different ways. So they use the concept of a stage. So you can see here, it says stage here at the top. They use the concept of a stage, and what you have are front stage, backstage, and off stage. Now, front stage are the things that you do that your boss or your clients or your customers see, right? So a very, very simple way to do that is like the product that's on the shelf or the Instagram post that's on your social media account. Those kinds of things. Those are the things that your clients, customers, or your boss engage with you on various and sundry levels. And so that's that work. And then there's the backstage stuff that your clients, your customers, or your boss don't see. These are like the little things that you kind of have to keep up with in order for the front stage stuff to happen. Just like in the theater, right? The backstage work is so important to support the front stage work. So those are the things that your people don't necessarily see, just kind of the mundane tasks, the nitty gritty, getting your hands dirty in the work to make sure that what is seen on front stage gets done. And then you have offstage, and offstage is all of the rest of the things that have nothing to do with your work. So your personal time, your time with family and friends, rest, relaxation, anything that you do to rejuvenate yourself so that what needs to happen front stage and backstage can happen well, and you're not burning yourself out. And so this is a spread that you can use to write down, ideally during the week, how am I going to get my work done front stage, off stage, and backstage, so that I'm not burning the candle at both ends, so that I'm not letting things slide through the cracks or slip through the cracks, so on and so forth. Now, if that doesn't work for you, that's totally fine. You can use this however you want, but the idea is setting up your week so that if you did have control over everything, you could you could get all of these things done. Now, you see stage up here, but you also see themes down here. Now, themes is when you use it, you pick a day and theme it with work. And there are people that I follow who do this in their actual work day. So Monday might be their writing day, Tuesday might be their posting day or their recording day or their study day or whatever. Thursday might be the day where they try to schedule all their meetings so they can just get them done right after the other. So if you want to do themes, you can do that as well and just kind of time block here with your work and the rest of your life. So it's a really great planning tool. I think it's really important that we kind of see our weeks like this and figure out, how do I want to maneuver through all the tasks and projects that I need to get done? So really great tool. You can use it in those ways. All right, so now we're transitioning from the planning section to the execution section, and this is where the magic happens. So we have a day on 2-page spread, and your first set of daily pages starts on Monday. Now, no matter what day of the week your quarter begins, you have enough pages to carry you through the entire quarter. So just pick the day where it begins. So if it starts on Monday, you pick Monday. If it's Friday, you pick Friday. Whatever day you need to start with, you choose that, and then you have enough to carry you through. So you don't have to worry about that. Now, this is the reason why I chose the Full Focus Planner, or the biggest reason why I chose it, because of this day on 2-page spread. If you guys have heard me talk about planners in the past, you know that I need months, weeks, and days, and you're going to see that I have all of those here. Now, a day on 2-page spread is my preference, but that is kind of hard to do in a planner that contains the entire year, because then it would be like that thick, right? Because of all the days. And so if it was on 2 pages. And so the fact that this has 2 pages and it's compact is a really, really big factor for me, and the biggest reason why I chose it. So this is how your day on 2-page works. First, you start off with, at the top, it tells you how many more weeks are remaining in the quarter. So you want to make sure that you're starting on the right week if you're kind of starting, a few weeks into the quarter, like I am. And then at the top here, you have a space where you can write in the date, okay? Now, the first thing that you're going to focus on is your daily big 3. So when you approach your day, what 3 things do I need to get accomplished or get done in order for me to count the day as a success? So what are the 3 most important things that need to get done? You would write that down here. And then you have the rest of your task list. So these are also important things, but if you need to delegate them to somebody else, or if you need to forward them to another day or whatever. You can do that. Not as big a deal as getting these things done. Okay. Then you have your agenda here. So 6 in the morning to 8 in the evening. And over here at the top, this kind of should have been the first thing. You have a little checklist to check off if you've done your morning ritual, your workday startup ritual, your workday shutdown ritual, and your evening ritual. So that's a really great space to keep track of whether or not you are keeping up with the important sort of benchmarkers of your day. And then on this side here, you just have space for notes. So they can be notes for meetings that you're attending. It could be just stuff you need to jot down. If it's your grocery list for the week, whatever it needs to be, you have space for notes. And it does have, at the bottom of both pages, you have these little legends or these keys here to kind of write down your little markers for how you are interacting with your tasks. So delegate, important question. Down here, check off is done. A slash is what you're waiting for. A circle is delegating. Deferring is an arrow forward, and deleting is an X. And so a lot like, the bullet journal system, you have these keys and these marks that you can use throughout your planner to signify different things. So then we go Monday through Sunday. Okay, and each day has a 2-page spread, which is fantastic. I didn't think that I would need so much note space during the weekend, but I actually do. At least this past weekend, I totally needed both pages for both days to write down notes. So even if you feel like you don't get a whole lot done during the weekend, if these aren't the days you work or whatever, they're still really handy to have when you do need to jot some things down. All right, at the end of your week, you have the weekly preview, and this is for reflecting over and processing the previous week and then getting yourself set up for the following week, the upcoming week. So step 1 is to list your biggest wins. So you write down what really worked, what you accomplished over the past week. For some people, this is a hard exercise. For others, it's not, depending on your personality, but it is an important exercise to first start with, this is what I've accomplished, this is what has gotten done, let's celebrate that. And then step 2, you go through and you refer to your last weekly big 3, which when you're just starting out, you won't have one, but we'll get to that here in just a second. So what did you schedule for yourself as your weekly big 3? How far did you get? What worked and what didn't work? What will you keep, improve, start, or stop doing? So evaluating, the bigger rocks in your week, the bigger projects or tasks that you had to get done, and evaluating them by these points. Okay, these questions. Step 3 is you're going to go through your list and you're going to process your items. So you're going to defer any tasks that need to be deferred. You're going to delegate any tasks that need to be delegated. You're going to add any assignments or action items regarding your daily notes. So these are things that you're going to go through in all of your pages from the previous week, and you're going to get these things done to make sure that nothing slipped through the cracks. If we don't review our week, then we potentially will miss things that need some attention as we move forward. So important stuff there. Then you're going to go over and go through your weekly overview for the upcoming week. So anything that needs to get done in your personal life, and then anything that needs to get done in your professional life. Events, deadlines, tasks, projects, whatever. You're going to write all of that stuff down. And then you also have, so pertaining to the step 4, you also have a week on one page. So here's the weekly view. So now you can see we have our days, our weeks, and our months. And this will keep everything, kind of all the plates spinning, so to speak, in your planner. So you have Monday through Friday, and then you have Saturday and Sunday here at the bottom. And so that you can plot out your week, what needs to get done. Do you have appointments, tasks, whatever? You can write all of that down. And then here's the weekly big 3 that was mentioned here in the first part in step 2. So this is the weekly big 3 that you'll set for the upcoming week. So what big 3 things have to get done for the week to be a success, right? Advancing your goals, working on projects, the whole 9. So what big 3 things have to happen for the week to be a success? You record them here. And then the following week, you'll review them here in step 2, okay? And then last but not least is planning your self-care. If we don't schedule things, they don't get done. So if you feel like, oh yeah, I'm going to read a book in the afternoon, or I'm going to pick up the phone and call a family member or a friend or whatever. If we don't schedule these things, then we're more apt to forget them. So you're going to schedule things to do that, in regards to your sleep, your eating, your moving your body, your exercise, connecting with other people, and then relaxing. And so you're gonna brainstorm these things below. So if you need to schedule a date night, you're gonna go and visit a friend, whatever, you're gonna try a new workout, whatever it is, you're gonna brainstorm it here below, and then you're gonna write those things down in your daily pages, okay? So they place a lot of emphasis on making sure that you're balanced in your approach to your work and your personal life, so that you're not burning the candle at both ends constantly, and not allowing for your body to rejuvenate and to rest, so that your lifestyle is sustainable. Now, granted, there are going to be seasons in our lives where we just have to go at a fast pace. Like, that's just the season you're in. Everything, you got to keep everything going. You got to keep everything running and all the plates spinning. And there might not be a whole heck of a lot of time for self-care activities, but that's not sustainable. You can only do that for so long before your body just says, nope, will not be doing this anymore. And so getting into the habit of really scheduling these kinds of things into your plans for your life will help you to move further for a longer period of time. And it just makes you a healthier person overall. And so those are your days and your weeks. So you have that for the entire quarter. So Monday through Sunday, and then a weekly preview, Monday through Sunday, so on and so forth. And so you're going to go through all of that for the entire quarter, and then you get to the end to a quarterly preview. So very much like the weekly preview, you're looking at similar things, but this is processing the entire quarter and preparing you for the next quarter, which you will start in your next planner. So your biggest wins for the quarter, reviewing your goals for the past quarter, how far did you get, what worked, what didn't, what will you keep doing, what will you improve, what will you start doing, what will you stop doing, all important questions. Your life plan review. So this is referring to Living Forward, that book that I mentioned at the beginning. Talks all about having a life plan, and so that's in reference to that. If you don't have a life plan, you would skip this. If you want a life plan, then you would go and read the book and figure out how to make one. And then connecting with your yearly goals. So going back to the beginning, checking out your annual goals, and seeing, what did I get done? Do I need to revise my goals in any way? Just kind of reviewing how in step are you with the plan that you made at the beginning of the year. And then monthly calendar review, right? So going through your calendar, major events, major deadlines, projects, and self-care time. And then your ideal week. Do I need to tweak it? Was this reasonable? Was it realistic based on the season of life I'm in? All of that. Your daily rituals, do I need to tweak those? Are those reasonable and realistic for the state or the season of life I'm in? And then your daily pages in your new planner, which you would have at the time of this review, you would go and enter the dates in. And then you have a notes page to record any information that you need to in regards to your review. And at the end, we go into our resources section. You have, I think it's 10 note pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you have sketches pages. This is just a light grid that you can use to sketch out ideas and things for work or for personal life, whatever you want. And then you have an index. So this is really, very similar to your bullet journal system. So you have a topic that you can write down and then the pages that they're found on. So this planner does have page numbers. It is numbered. So anything that you wrote down in your daily pages, if you want to reference it later and not forget where it is, you can write down the topic that it is, and then you can write down the page number. Okay, so you have your index, and then any other resources, not any other resources. This is a list of specific resources that you can use from the Michael Hyatt and Company team. So those are for your reference. And then in the back, you have a pocket. Oh, my nails are cut short. I can't get to it. There we go. We have a pocket in the back where you can hold anything you need to hold. And that is it, you guys. That is the Full Focus Planner. That's the setup. That's how it functions, or that's how it's set up to function. And hopefully that helped you in your decision-making process as far as like, do I want to use it? Is it not for me? Whatever. I highly recommend it. I love it. I'm going to set this aside and show you. This is my current Full Focus Planner. I already have a couple of tabs in here to mark a couple of the pages or the spreads. So this is a daily rituals page that I need to go through and put together. And then I've got my month. Because I started in November, I have November, and then I have December, and then I have January. So in my next planner, I'll start with January in this one, but because I had this free month here, I went ahead and just put January in so I can forward plan. I won't have this capability when I start in 2021, but since I had it, I thought I might as well use it. And then just in my days, let me see if there's anything that I can't show you. I started in the part of the quarter that we were in. So I'm kind of like halfway through the planner already. And this is just kind of what it looks like. I've got my tasks. I've got my important big 3 up here. This is a list of videos. This is yesterday. This is yesterday's day. I was supposed to film this yesterday and it did not work out for me. So these are a few of the videos that I needed to film and get done this week. I don't think I have, let me make sure there's nothing on here you don't need to see. Yeah. I don't have much written on today's schedule. I'm a little cattywampus right now. But anyway, so that's what it looks like. And so far, you guys, it's working really, really well. I have already marked off Thanksgiving. See, I've got some stickers. A lot of people are super minimalistic, the people that use this, and they're just like, I have what I need on the page, I use it, I don't decorate, you know, I turn to the page I need and I get going. And that's great. I do have a great stash of stickers and washi, so I do use them, and there is enough space on these pages to do so. So if you look at my November, I've just got a very simple decor going on here with some fall leaves. I'll put a leaf here. I'm trying to make sure there's nothing there you can't see, but I put a leaf here and there because it's November. So you have space to decorate if you want to. If you want to add washi, if you want to add some strips here, if you want to add something up here, down here, there's plenty of room to decorate if you're that kind of planner. If you're not, then it is ready for you to just get your pen out and go. If you want to color coordinate things, which is probably what I'm going to do next year, then you can do that. There's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different ways to use this planner and to get a lot out of it. That's it, you guys. That is it. This is my planner I'm currently using. This is the planner I'm going to be using next year. If you want to check it out, there's a link in the description where you can check out the Full Focus planner and see if it's right for you. You can shop there. I think at the time of this recording, there might be, is there a sale going on? I'm not completely sure. I should have checked that. But anyway, you can check to see what's going on the website. You can pick from any of the gorgeous planners they have in the various lines, and make that decision for 2021 if you have not yet made it. If you have any questions, y'all feel free to leave them below. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this has helped. Have a great day. Bye-bye.